This is a market analysis of an industrial health and safety engineer brought to you by Rachel, Jake, and Kyle. What is the job? Some of the duties for a health and safety engineer include the following, which are writing and revising specific company safety regulations, checking machinery to make sure it works properly, investigating industrial accidents and interviewing employees, and then finding solutions to prevent the accidents in the future. And the last one, evaluating health risks and conducting safety hygiene. Work environment. Industrial health and safety engineers usually work full-time, which is a 40-hour week. They work in offices and often travel to job sites of companies that hired them on to write and revise their specific company's safety regulations. And the industries that employed most health and safety engineers in 2012 in order included professional scientific and technical services, construction of buildings, state and local governments excluding education and hospitals, and heavy and civil engineering construction. Who you interact with. In this career, you usually interact with supervisors, peers, and subordinates of other companies that you're performing the safety regulations for, medical professionals who are educating you on health risks, outside organizations such as fire departments, and inspectors, scientists, safety engineers, and labor representatives that you are educating on the stuff that you have learned and also finds that they have discovered. Who you report to. Health and safety engineers are usually privately employed, and the 3 top companies in the U.S. today that are employing them are the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, National Institutes of Health, and OSHA. Demand. Labor market. There's an 11% expected growth in this career, and it's a higher demand due to staff increases of other companies, company expansions, and a long-run population growth throughout the U.S. Geographic location. Here are 2 lists of the top 10 hiring cities and the top 10 cities with the highest salaries. Currently, the 2 states that are both hiring the most health and safety engineers and also paying them the highest salaries are Texas and California. However, there's a consistently high job demand throughout the U.S. due to new jobs and new industries that are appearing every day. Size of employer. There's a wide range of employers across the U.S. They usually work in big factories and industries, and that's due to more demand in bigger companies. Some of the examples of employers are all probably places that you're familiar with, such as American Express, Ford Motor Company, Hershey's, General Electric, and NASA. There is an inelastic demand in this market due to companies are required to adhere to safety protocols, which requires them to hire on an industrial health and safety engineer. The wages differ and change the more education and experience one has, and as you can see, the salaries usually range between $45,000 and $118,000, where most of them make around $76,000. Supply. Who can work this job? It's usually preferred that you're interested in math, science, and design. You're also detail-oriented and a problem solver and can come up with solutions to problems on your own. It's a minimal requirement to have a bachelor's degree and some practical experience in the field. And you also want to avoid leading, selling, and persuading, so you don't want to be a salesperson because your overall goal is to keep people healthy and safe in the workplace and not just make money by selling products to companies that don't necessarily need them. Job education and certification. There's a minimum requirement of a bachelor's degree. However, some people choose to get a master's degree to advance further later. Your degree must come from a school that has an ABET accredited engineer program. The degree must have an emphasis on math, physics, or chemistry. You also must pass the FE and PE exam. The FE exam is the Fundamental of Engineering exam is administered year-round. You usually take it as a recent graduate or close to graduation. There is a $225 exam fee, and it is offered in 7 disciplines, which are chemical, civil, electrical and computing, environmental, industrial, and mechanical. The test is a computer-based exam with 110 multiple-choice questions and is 6 hours long. The next one is the Professional Engineer Exam, or PE exam. It requires you to have at least 4 years of post-college work. It is offered twice a year. The specifics and standards are posted 6 months prior to the exam, and it is an 8-hour test broken up into a morning and afternoon session. It is scored based off the discipline that is selected at registration. After the exams, you also must be a CSP and a CIH certified specialist. The CSP, or Certified Safety Professional, requires you to have a minimum of a bachelor's degree or associates in safety, health, or environment. You also must have 4 years of safety experience and pass the CSP examination. The test is computer delivered, 5.5 hours long, and 200 questions. It is broken up into 4 areas, which are engineering, management, information management and communications, and professional conduct and ethics. There is a failure rate of 50%. To maintain certification, you must pay annual renewal fees and meet recertification requirements. The last one is the CIH certification, or a Certified Industrial Hygienist. You must have a minimum bachelor's degree in biology, chemistry, physics, or engineering. You also must have 180 academic contract hours or 240 continuing education hours of IH coursework, 2 hours of ethics training, 4 years of professional experience, 2 professional references, and pass the CIH examination. There is an exam fee of $350 and is offered twice a year. It consists of 150 scored questions and 50 experimental questions. The test lasts about 5.5 hours long with an optional 1-hour break.
The skills and abilities you need in this job are creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, reading, oral and written comprehension and expression, mathematical reasoning, and you must be observational.
The market. Demographic composition of workers. It's fairly spread out and consistent across the U.S. Jobs are concentrated more in large cities, and this is due to larger industries and larger factories. And currently, Texas, California, and other coastal areas make up places with the most jobs in the industry. Labor market. The overall expected growth in industry is 11% from 2012 to 2022, which is as fast as average for any other industry. There is a higher demand due to staff increases and company expansions. In 2012, there were 24,100 jobs in industrial health and safety engineer. By 2022, there is expected to be an additional 2,600 jobs available. Product market. There is a higher demand than there is supply due to company expansions and hiring challenges. The hiring challenges are lack of qualified candidates, which are people who do not obtain the minimal degree needed for this job, and specialized job requirements, which are people who do not have the skills and abilities that are preferred in this job. Wage fluctuations. As you can see, there is a wide range of salaries starting from $45,000 all the way up to $118,000. Even though there is an inelastic demand, higher education, more experience, and more difficult tasks earn more money. This is because every industry is required to follow safety protocols, therefore, there is a need for industrial health and safety engineers in every industry. And also, there are non-competitive salaries.
Additional information.
Advancement. New workers generally work under supervision. A graduate degree is required for advancement to more difficult jobs and more independence. To become a manager, professional certification is required. There are 2 types of certification. The first one is a Certified Safety Professional, or a CSP, which is awarded by the Board of Certified Safety. The second one is a Certified Industrial Hygienist, or CIH, which is awarded by the American Board of Industrial Hygiene. Here is a list of some similar occupations to an industrial health and safety engineer. The first one is Construction and Building Inspector, which has an entry-level requirement of a high school diploma and has a mean pay of $53,450. Next is a Fire Inspector and Investigator, which has an entry-level requirement of a high school diploma and a mean pay of $53,990. Industrial Engineer has an entry-level requirement of a bachelor's degree and a mean pay of $78,860. Next is Mining and Geological Engineer, which has an entry-level requirement of a bachelor's degree and mean pay of $84,320. Last is Occupational Health and Safety Specialist, which has an entry-level requirement of a bachelor's degree and mean pay of $66,790. I hope this presentation gave everyone a better understanding of what an industrial health and safety engineer is and just exactly what the market for this job looks like.